On this week's edition of Toys R Us Special, we have a Banvil or Envirofan Silverline in 48-inch. Now, as you can tell by the canopy, it replaced a Dayton. And as you can tell by the opening statement, this one came out of a Toys R Us. This one is dated 2000. Again, it is the 48-inch Silverline. Not the normal 56. You don't see too many 48s. There you see the label. Now this fan, just looking at it, you might think the motor reminds you of something, right? Kind of reminds you of a Safer, or a New Tone Pro line from the 80s, right? Or a Slimline in some ways. Yeah, I'm not sure how Envirofan got a hold of the designs, but I am pretty sure that they, after Safer went under, or maybe Envirofan acquired them, I don't know. They bought the designs from Safer. Probably sometime in the very late 80s or early 90s. And here we are now. So, let's see how this thing performs. Now, I believe that this thing uses the same motor as the 56-inch Silverline. Although I could be wrong, because I've never actually dealt with one. So, but I feel like it's the same motor, because the Silverlines were, or rather are, tier. They're low-tier industrials. And then Bronze Line is just straight up shit tier, but we're not talking about that today, so let's put it up just a little bit. For the purpose of testing, I'm using a solid state control, so there you go. Compared to the Dayton Ring Industrial that I dealt with recently, this one has significantly narrower blades, not as wide. So again, this fan actually came out of a Toys R Us somewhere in Ohio, and basically, a lot of the fans had been replaced by Silverlines because, you know, the Dayton's not particularly reliable things. Let's put up a little more. Now, I didn't take these fans out of the Toys R Us. These fell into someone's lap and then fell into mine. It's interesting that they would replace these with silver lines and not just newer day turds, but starting to move the air now. Let's put up another notch. Starting to move the air now. More. So it's gonna strap high. Compared to a Dayton ring, the 48-inch Silverline outperforms it. And that's due to the steeper pitch of the Silverline's blade. Now, a day turd is about on par with a Silverline. Probably a little more, or a little better than it. So. Bearings are hissing a little bit, but it's kind of par for the course because Toys R Us ran these things into the ground. Let's let it coast. Ran them non-stop. Not necessarily on high. Usually they were on a medium low to medium setting. But yeah, they ran them into the ground. So, It should also be noted, if you look up there, you see a red wire. What does that do? The Silverline, or at least this particular fan, is reversible via a separate hot line. So if you took the red and the black, right, if you wanted to reverse on the fly, you could, just with a three-way switch on the wall next to the control of your choice. Now, of course, with this fan, in order for it to really be effective in updraft, you'd have to flip the blades. But yeah, it has the provision, which is always interesting to see with industrials. Now, since they ran this one into the ground, that means that the bearings are also evenly worn out. Or worn. I wouldn't say they're worn out, but they're evenly worn, so they're very, very smooth, and that leads to a very long coasting time, typically. Yeah, so while the 56-inch Silverline might be a bit of a turd, the 48-inch is actually okay. There you can see the pitch. Seems sufficiently steep. And there you have it, a 48-inch Envirofan or Banvil Silverline.